Welcome everyone to more open source and live development here on this channel. Developing a Linux distribution, right? Those who are new to that is our T2 just raw, mostly vanilla Linux. Also increasingly we fix so much that it's not that much vanilla anymore, but anyway. And I made a mistake. So for what is that? So we support more stuff, test more stuff. Case in point also not only LTO we program, but also Pi for position independent executables, meaning not linking executables like Bash or Ruby or Firefox to a fixed address like it was decades ago, but operating system specific address or operating system and architecture specific address, obviously. And instead having those similar to shared objects being relocatable to any other random address for address-based randomization and security. And one of those features, like sure, we tested that also when it was new 10 or so years ago, had some bugs and features and stuff. Anyway, I now wanted to, because security, performance, and security, wanted to switch that on by default, and the more we test, the more it's broken, or recurring theme here, right? And this is also why all the Linux distributions have so many patches and quirks and broken stuff. And what I did is we had for decades, because otherwise building shared objects, especially non-x86, also it's the issue. What you need to do is you need to build stuff with fpic for position independent executables, and I think the other is probably fpi for position independent executables. And so PIC is in general position independent code, and code meaning code also in libraries. And so historically you also had to build code position independent if it should be randomly loaded to addresses like shared objects. And the same for executables. Why do I tell the story? Also for a little bit background information for those who are new to hopefully learn something. And don't forget to share, like, subscribe. And so what I did is with Pi, as position independent executables for improved security, we also need to build executables, PIC, position independent code, right? And so due to that we had quite some build errors. And what I did is, so my mistake was I flagged those packages we had here in the metadata fpic quirk already for probably 20 years. And so what this does is, because the packages do not have fpic in their makefiles, because you know whatever it accidentally built on x86, also some more useful stuff like tk. And so I marked those fpic, and initially meaning also like it fixes the issue because we then build with fpic for position independent code. But from the beginning I said, nah, it's not like really 100% should we do this conditionally. It's like, nah, between too many changes, and how do we do it now? And it sometimes takes some days or weeks or even months or years of guru meditation and finding a better solution. So what is a better solution? Because what is the issue now? The issue is, yesterday night I even flagged tk, tickle, tick, tcl, tk, and other stuff, probably also PHP or Ruby or Python. And basically, like a lot of stuff, we like nearly kind of sorted nearly everything, right? And or at least half, or whatever the case might be. And that's certainly not ideal, right? That we mark everything fpic, although it's only needed if you build for Pi. And on some architectures we might not even, like AVR32 or Blackfin or maybe even MIPS, might not even support that. I've not checked all of them. So we have a little bit, so the drawback is it should still build on the other architectures, hopefully, probably, but it should have also some performance impact, right? So we certainly don't want to lose a % of performance or two for architectures that might not support that. And in general, I would also say it's not the right thing to flag packages of fpic if for non-position independent executables, for not Pi executables, we would not need that. So I will probably, so what I do now, the improvement, so hopefully sort of final solution, which we also need to test, is for test we also need to rename that. So I rebuilt all of this here again, because of course we do. So let's move that to backup or so. And also I built the final ISO now. For that we best, what month do we have? We have the last days of, probably makes this, should we make this 9? You know what, realistically we probably anyway release it. Yeah, we probably, yeah. We want to build it with a proper version number. And so I will revert all the fpic stuff, and theoretically we could even try. So either, the problem with that is it's quite some work to revert all the stuff even. So it even takes, and yeah, that is IT, right? If you work on in a big company or your hobby project, they always, I mean, everything's attention to detail and massive amounts of work. And so we would need to go now through all of this. And it's like, yeah, there are some. I'm not sure if it's worth the time to go through all of that. This is 2010 though. I mean, maybe it's like a dozen or so. Okay, maybe I go through that. So the other improvements. So I mean, obviously reverting that will break the stuff again. So the real fix for that, I probably should have mentioned earlier, is to not flag all the packages for fpic, because we anyway always need that for Pi then. But my idea then is to always build everything with fpic. I hope that so here, if no Pi, then disabled. If Pi static, then if Pi static Pi, and so fpic quirk here would be also that. So that if we build Pi, we naturally need fpic. So that would be my solution to, if that is already Pi, then fpic 2. I'm not sure if we need this for static. I usually don't build static stuff, so YOLO. And the other thing, what I will, is a related thing I will do is also, I'm for a long time not happy with the name fpic quirk. Sure, it is kind of sort of a quirk, but we usually don't name flags quirk. Like a lot of flags are, most of them are quirks. So I will also, the only constant is change and regressions and incompatibilities and stuff. But I think it is time to remove this quirk from the name and just call it fpic. That triggers me a little bit after all those years. I think the name could be better. So with that, the problem is I have some changes here as I usually have. Oops, no, I pressed some wrong. So probably, whatever. Let's go to one of my cleaner or cleanest trunks. Of course, I have some random stuff in here because. Why do I have some? I'm not sure if we still need that though. I guess I could use this one here. So what I will use this for is reverting this stuff. And as I mentioned, this is a little bit time-consumingly error prone. Basically reverting most of those we have done recently, which is a bit of a shame, but that is what it is. So reverse merge all of those. Yeah, and this bloody merge, a recurring theme that triggers me also enormously. Alright, so the problem is, yeah, we need to do, yeah, this is the thing why you shouldn't commit stuff together. Yeah, no, I need to do that manually. This is a little bit, yeah. Because if I revert this, wait a second, did I not have this? Why is this not fpic quirk? Updated, marked unstable, and did I, that is strange. Oh wait, somehow, did I not, maybe I didn't. Did I not SVN update? Why is this not RMI? What is here the issue? Maybe wrong. No, I'm a little bit. What's going on here? That's fpic quirk 0. Why is this not? Or did I? Wait a second. Did I revert this already? Ah, maybe this is a revert already. Ah, darn, that was a revert. This obviously explains this thing. But this also means so much to quickly reverting, and the first thing already a... did I not revert that one? Ah, so apparently I reverted the wrong one so much too. It's that fun stuff. Off to a good start. So it's a little bit time consuming and error prone and stuff. And you see it's a lot, which also explains why I consider this a lesser solution. An imperfect solution. And yeah, sometimes it's just like if you think it's like 1 or 2, or like if it's a dozen, then there eventually it is too much. And also why other Linux distributions would also no, that doesn't merge, thank you very much. Other Linux distributions would often hardcode that, but as you seen here, we are not. Alright, because we merged this, marked this cross. Other Linux distributions would often hardcode this stuff, like if pi pick whatever, then add this to all the packages. Also not really resolved. But as you currently see here, we are huge fans of, oh, here's an update immediately. This was, you can directly and marked fpic, so we are huge fans of automation and generic solutions. Fun fact, my company Exacode, one of the name I wouldn't choose again because expectations are somewhat too high. Not sure, leave in the comments below how you like this name. It was not our first choice, right? I mentioned this before. Of course, we brainstormed for days, if not weeks, and had like probably 20, if not 30. One was also generic code because we not only believed in better than C, like C++, and also templates for more matter and generic programming, single containers and stuff. So another was like was actually generic code as far as I remember. And a couple of others. So Exact was usually the name, trademarks, registered domains taken and stuff. So even if you never heard about this, right? So much know that already. So many people know that already. If you ever had a project or a company or stuff, naming is like no fun in this day and age. Pattern not found. Been muted on. Is that only microblast? Oops. Oh. Yeah, that is selectively a microblast. I'm actually considering whether I should implement generic, like, conditional flags, not to have to open codes and stuff. Quick bin utils. I think relocation was it? Relocation, maybe this is actually so. I guess that should be no LTO and F. Other programs as oh. I guess so that is going far enough back. This should. So we need to revert this stupid. Merge info, which I hate with oh wait, where is the merge? Should it not be merge info? Oh wait, this is wrong. I think the second line should be merge info, and then cut that on space delimited doesn't matter the most except that. And so that should only be bloody merge info, which I would agree is a bug of Subversion. I probably should not be using that anymore. Maybe I should report this upstream because this, I mean, this is, I totally don't get this. It looks mostly pointless to me, but yeah, I have no idea. That's so, and then actually it's not that many as I thought, but anyway, let's double check those. Cross FPIC quirk. Actually, theoretically, we should even, you know what, let's commit that like synthetically here, meaning not testing that, but I would have said it's not the best recommendation to commit stuff untested, obviously, but we will do that for today. Maybe I should add this at the end actually to just to have this line up more, but maybe not. Yeah. So FPIC reverted or recent pi-related FPIC quirks and inject maybe call this simply so that's not ideal in that it's not been tested, like famous last words, we test build this and we will see breakage. So that was merged. So and then like test build it, right? And obviously looking forward to Zen 4 because we obviously need more epic thread ripping Ryzen performance. Here, 40% faster build times, yes please, based on IPC, clock and memory bandwidth. So the idea would be to see now how many, if something breaks. So this is with Pi, should be with Pi actually, let's better double check that, but it should be. Yeah, of course it is. Nothing like epic thread ripping, throw your whole minimal desktop Linux stuff in. In 2 hours. And so the rename, right? So grab FPIC quirk accept, so that should be like scripts and MISC or stuff. 127, actually not the most, so this was the second part, what I mentioned initially, right? Renaming that. So we don't really have changes here. So I would substitute input. Actually, wait a second, we don't have recursively, do we? Okay, let's grab it like that, because why not? And cut delimiter that field 1. F do sed substitute FPIC quirk to just FPIC, maybe globally in all of F. This will print that. That was intentionally. I wanted to see that first. Yeah, so in my opinion, that is so much better. Like recurringly here, like, attention to detail. I'm aware that this is not like, I'm not a fan of like changing stuff just to change stuff. That is, we do this very rarely. I would say the problem with that is only continuous change and regressions, right? So it makes merging between T2 trunks and branches and text and stuff harder. But I think it's this extreme, and this is how you should handle it. Not like the Linux kernel, changing names, arguments, and stuff on a daily, seriously no kidding basis, but like once in a decade, I would say it's fine. Again, in like totally, I would actually, my recommendation, if you build like mission critical stuff, like seeing NASA, ESA, Moon, Mars landing and rockets and stuff, and maybe even self-driving car, like maybe the good policy there would be like never rename stuff, not to accidentally, because you don't want to Moon, Mars rocket miss the target just because you rename some stuff and or let your self-driving car drive over someone or something. like yeah. But leave in the comments below. So make that in place, and that's certainly are nice there. Nice div there, and it's like yeah, automation like scripting. People always love that. People like me don't like. People like me use a freaking give me a freaking white on black command line. Streaming editor, he's not using Xcode and Visual Studio and stuff. It's like yeah, but that is power, right? That is a true. I mean, that is computer, right? Give me more computers to compute more computers computing stuff like yeah. You simply can't do stuff as efficiently in Xcode and Visual Studio. I mean, not to mention how slow they are if you work on 1,000 files. Let's grab a little bit more. Here, just all recursive and maybe exclude config, and also, I'm not sure, does it do that with, oops, and also exclude .svn. Why does this not compute? Does it just take so long? No, that is impossible. We have epic thread ripping here. Probably some white space nonsense going on. Am I recurring? Oh, did I? Maybe I did something new. Why does this not? Oh wait, it takes. This actually it grabs build. Probably, or something, or download. It do I have builds here? Actually, I have cleaner. It was grabbing all the downloads. Or something like that. Do I still have... Why is this taking so long? What is so large? 28 gigs. Where should they be? What do I overlook? Or did I not clean up builds? Why did they not? Maybe they need to be Why does this not clean up? Okay, another, we could exclude that. Or we actually, wait a second, we wanted, did we commit this already, everything? We didn't commit the rename. We could grab that with find and prune, or grab and filter. We could simply, do we have something starting with B? Maybe also, could simply wildcard exclude that, do we? Oh, no. T2 cleanest. I don't have. How did I usually had my T2 clean? Okay, it's as relative, because not all combinations might work, but at least that one does. So let's grab then, not dot, but let's grab all A2 set except build, so that would be a C2 set and not download, so CDE, that probably should work, and then we don't need that stuff. No, you see? Also, if we remove C, then we don't have the config. Okay, that is all. I only wanted to never know if in some additional script and whatnot folder something is hiding. So just a copyright patch to make sure all the touched files have been updated. What was there, by the way? There was something scrolling by. What was it? Probably should. Why is it outputting? Probably there is some scripting marginality with. What the freaking heck? Yeah. Okay. I wonder if we or was it misc shared package? We probably want an extra tab there. Attention to detail, right? As I see, I think we have nothing. Actually, wait, we have used the libtool quirk. I mean, those we probably could for now have quirk because it's. We could call this auto remake. Oh, no, it's actually not auto remake. It's updating that. So maybe yeah, those we could leave quirk. It's just like yeah, two quirks to go, but yeah. Those are really quirks of quirking that stuff. This is just fpic. So, and as it is relatively often used, I would say it is looking so much more professional without quirk all over. It's always good to scroll over the stuff just to see if we auto substituted some random garbage. There's extra space. Oh, there is some desk patch. Actually, we quirked this desk patch, but that is kinda. I would call it fine. Oh wait, maybe this doesn't apply anymore. Did we? Oh wait, this is we probably mangled this. It is in the minus line, so let's revert that because it is patching stuff. LTO. We could, however, fpic. We could. Yeah, it's removing that, so we could, because obviously we can't remove it at all, but we could change that to the new one here. That is obviously the right solution for that patch. I mean, lots of the stuff doesn't even care. So again, the benefit of that is improving performance for not Pi and Pi builds or platforms where they don't support that. And that is, in my opinion, the way better solution. And also better selectively marked stuff fpic for stuff there where it's really truly missing for otherwise generic, independently of Pi, fpic libraries, shared objects. How many files? Yeah, another episode of working on our fun little hobby project, Linux distribution. Improving it, even the attention to detail, like even corner cases. Other distributions, not only would they hard code that, because they usually don't have such generic handling, they often also would not support other use cases, right? Think Fedora or stuff, or Oracle's broken Linux. And so they would only support like one combination for like AMD 64 or AArch 64, and like everything else is like vintage retro we don't support, right? And of course T2 sticking not only to performance, security, but also supporting always previously. Also, this is funny Caffe stuff that builds with. We probably, you know what, I probably should make a to-do of getting rid of Caffe and marking stuff, basically marking stuff to work with this open source Java implementation that obviously next to nobody probably with one E. I thought so already while typing, but you never know. So, but that is for another day, and welcome everyone. That is BTOP, that's not H top, that is BTOP, yeah, that is a pretty nice one. Actually, you know what, let's check if they have a new release. Always a win-win of these live streams. Also, I need to improve data to make sure that 1029, 129. You see, I think that is a new version. Oh no, 129. Wait, 2 days ago? Maybe data updated that already. Data updated that, so much to teaching our data when they have already done it. So nothing to have your own little droid. I guess that's it. There we have that. Then SVN up that. Oh, it's not even committed yet. But now it should be. And then I can actually paste the link to our package here for other people later to find it. Actually, let's... And I probably should check our... Oh no, data finished running. I don't need to specifically update that. So I'm also on the mission to remove excess white space, as I just seen. Multitasking memory, right? Let's try to... I thought I already removed lots of superfluous white space. So this was email, maybe there are potentially more, so let's substitute all white space in front of that to one white space like that in all of desk. Let's see what we get there in place. And yeah, so much to... Actually, that is funny. There is even one CPU that is unexpected also. That's crazy, 51. And that is attention to detail, right? And instead of fixing one in your Visual Studio Xcode thing, it's like, yeah, just throw a stream editor over that. Oh, that is interesting, this even. As this is the power of regular expression, right? I didn't even expect that. I naturally typed space star of any of those and found even white space missing. That is super unexpectedly, and certainly, here's another one. It's, of course, totally unnecessary. It's totally not functional, but this is the kind of stuff that I'm here for, right? Like perfecting the... I'm very aware that T2 is certainly one of the most amazing new solutions, supporting one of the most architectures of 25 plus counting. Building that here with a few people in all of the world. But also like increasingly cleaning it up, right? This is what I've always done for 20 years when I was at Rock Linux. Also there, like, yeah, okay, I mean, this was nicely formatted, but I would argue this is superfluous nonsense. I've personally probably never done it like that. Probably Jürgen Georg Sawinski has done that, probably, most likely, maybe. Sure, I have to say, in some of my C++ Lua code, I sometimes do that as well if I have arrays and structures and stuff. But with this email, I would argue it is not helpful. But yeah, you might leave in the comments below if that triggers you. I would argue mostly that is a good thing to remove that. And like, yeah, this kind of stuff, right? Apparently, Jürgen Georg Sawinski liked that. But this is kind of stuff that, sure, it's superfluous. It's a little bit superfluous, just like the superfluous white space is. But this is this kind of stuff that, in my opinion, rounds up. Here's another space missing, right? As far as I see it, probably, unless it is Unicode stuff, but most likely it is missing. This is this kind of stuff that is attention to detail and perfection, right? And that is the difference between some hobby project looks random garbage and your hobby project or professional source code. Actually, you would probably throw up if a lot of commercial proprietary source code I've seen in my life, which I have some with security and stuff. Over the years, security contract work and also on. Lots of proprietary code looks way worse than open source code, right? A lot of even highest profile, which probably have NDA for and shouldn't. You probably guessed that, right? From leaked source code, from Microsoft or Nvidia or Adobe or stuff, you can form your own opinion, but even that one, wait a second, no, actually this is reverted. Actually I said it's nice, actually. No, this, I read this wrong. This edit a white space, that is of course not cool. I got this wrong. But yeah, so the other stuff, another nice attention to detail, basically kind of sort of free except 5-10 minutes of our time. Why did this cause that? This bloody config regenerated. This was a waste of time, darn. I probably, yeah, speaking of attention to detail and bug free, this is, yeah, it's not bug free, but so what happened here is that the config didn't generate because alright, this didn't generate. I mean, this is actually not really a bug, I would say. This is mostly annoying for me because the config, I edited scripts parse config or so, and so the config didn't rerun. It only reran because it detected updated files now. So now we waste actually time to build some stuff for nothing. But it doesn't matter, like 5 or 10 minutes, okay, it is what it is now. I have another issue though. I have the issue that data, like remember like some 6 or so months ago when we massively parallelized data, that it checks like massively parallel, like 32 or so threaded checks update there for cutting times that data runs. Data our AI bot, previous video, just updated some stuff. I have an issue now, this sometimes the config clobbers, it's actually pretty annoying. I have there a config log that actually logs the config, but it looks like that is not working. I thought it was working reliable, like here acquiring config log and stuff, but it looks like this is not perfect. So now for over a decade, I didn't have an issue with that. But now I have an issue since we massively parallelized data. I now have the issue that sometimes the config on data corrupts. That is super pain in the ass actually. It's super hard to debug also, not only a pain in the ass when data is massively testing build and then the config corrupts and all the builds corrupt. It's even more headache. I have not even started. I already know that this is a headache to even reproduce, right? It's massively parallel and then breaking stuff. Super pain in all concurrent and massive parallel stuff. Super pain in the ass. No matter whether it's C, C++, Rust, Go, or just shell code. It's, yeah, another day. It's not the most important for now. I keep an eye on. Anyway, comments there. Requesting a window manager in Golang or Rust. I will not. What I will do, there are enough window managers. What I will do is a microkernel. I will soon do a microkernel and windowing system from scratch. Although, yes, I'm aware there are enough operating systems and window managers, but I want my specific vision of microkernel, whether it will be successful or not, maybe not, at least for my fun and your education, and I want the smallest possible implementation of this stuff, which is why I do not want to reuse. All the stuff I see is recurrently a magnitude more code with random stuff and also like openly coded in C and stuff that I wouldn't want to reuse it. Anyway, let's commit that. I hope that was the right tree. It's like, yeah, we could scroll over that yet again, or we don't. Maybe we do. It were only 50 changes. I'm actually surprised that we still find some of that. Maybe I will rerun that even once more. Sanitized superfluous missing spaces in disk. Sanitized superfluous missing spaces in disk. Probably fine. Thought it should be for right. It's famous last words. Let's see what we get if we truly remove all excess spaces. I have the feeling this might be too much, but let's see what happens. The The good thing is this is completely clean, so this is probably massive. Oh wait, I did say some shit. And that is why we do this on a completely clean tray. Okay, we could actually that way query space and send any space. What do we have now? Okay, we had sometimes, how many are those? 700. Okay, this is massive. I mean, this is even, you see, this is even in make-up. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It obviously totally doesn't matter. But I mean, it is freaking massive. It is super massive. Actually, we need to be careful here in this code. Is it even MKD? Actually, you know what? This doesn't even work. We found a bug. This for sure didn't work. This was an auto conversion from .conf to that. Actually, for that, it would be cool if, so that doesn't work. It would be cool if either this worked. The question then would only be, yeah, it's actually a little bit tricky. We mostly, we would need to implement that, and I guess actually, wait a second, postmove. It's also a little bit long, so what we could do actually is split that and it's a kind of win-win of like fixing some stuff. Yeah. Perfecting your Linux distribution one live stream at a time. I hope you enjoy this, learn something. Don't forget to subscribe, YouTube membership, GitHub sponsor, and so on, OnlyFans. GoFundMe, you get the idea. I mean, there are more information than just me, right? If you need information to get started, just read some books, online tutorials. As much as I appreciate that you want information from me, I already share a lot, if not too much. Just Google online, internet search that topic that, I mean, I can't, for everyone who wants to learn something, make just a topic. So yeah, you probably want to internet search and or buy some books. Let's finish with, while we wait for this build, let's use some 5 minutes to clean this up a little bit. If you want to learn some SED and regular expression, it's probably for you. Let's check if we have more of those ending with spaces. Let's maybe what we could do is actually, okay, let's do two things. First of all, let's check if we have any stuff ending with a semicolon in desc. Some, so that is here some vblade also apparently. So that also doesn't work. That has the same bug. Actually, we should have done that first, to be honest. I could have committed that together. But this is also a reminder. I usually try to check stuff before committing, but it's also a reminder. I should not have committed that, right? So I have broke that like a year ago or so on some live YouTube live stream. I wonder if we have some ending with... Why is that? I'm probably need to do... Okay. I wonder if this is a new vblade release, because it is freaking old. It's likely from decades ago. Yeah, but testing, more testing, most testing, and everything you didn't test is broken. Let's vblade. That is, by the way, an ATA over IP or so. ATA over Ethernet. Do they have a new release? We have 25. No, that is probably... Oh no, it's actually not that old. Interesting. So probably, maybe Data must have updated that. Yeah, towards a perfect Linux distribution, one YouTube live stream at a time. I hope you enjoy this and learn something. Oh. I need to review 700 changes. I mean, 261 files are not even that bad. Let's probably review that a bit. Yeah, this ASCII art, it's like, I mean, some people also previously, I think in general I prefer this, and there is no point of this excessive white spaces. So also here, like, it's like totally random of someone editing that. Some even typos, right? You've seen there. Sure, some is some ASCII art formatting, but honestly, YOLO, whatever. I'm not even sure if this is totally valid URL stuff there. That is, I'm kind of... Look, this is even a freaking typo, right? An open box there. There is probably no point that is one space more indented. It's true, this is like ASCII art stuff, but yeah, I mean, you would argue like it's not necessary. I mean, it's waste of space and it's pointless, in my opinion. But leave me in the comments below if that triggers you, if you liked it more before. The pro thing, I mean, except like storing spaces for nothing, also there is like more white space in emails differently of what we fixed here. I would argue, I mean, it's some are typos, some are intentionally, some, even if there are some like justified formatting stuff, it's pointless. And even the bullet lists there are, in my opinion, pointless. I would say this is like 99% pointless, and I would argue, last but not least, even there, like, who freaking cares if there is a space in between this? It's just freaking pointless. I would mostly argue, actually, this is also, I mean, yeah, that is kind of, yeah. Last but not least, I would argue, as it's 99% pointless and superfluous and everything and stuff, last but not least, it improves further automated processing, right? Because removing this random entropy here of random spacing shit makes future diffs easier, right? If we clean up stuff and auto substitute and stuff, it just improves future processing and diffs and stuff. So it's also here, like why? This is likely like 20 years old. I would not be surprised if Claire herself did that 20 years ago. This is super old Netkit RSH, which anyway nobody should be using anyway for. There's even a freaking comma. Seeing that, I mean, maybe that was a Frenchman or woman. I think they put spaces. Also, but it's not even consistent, right? Because I think to the French people, I think they with dot. I'm not even sure. They have some funny punctuation. So where are we? I think I commit this just. This is fine. It's mostly improvements. Even there is some extra space. And again, the difference is between it looking random and not maintained, like looking relatively cheaply. I mean, what we could do is we could log our regular expression on text stuff only, but I think it's mostly fine. And it does what I wanted to say a sentence before, is it improves the overall professional look enormously. Look there, it's totally random of the other ASCII art there. I think this is a 99% win-win. Unlikely, do we have, where are we? Oh, 14%, we're nearly through. It's by the way Control G in case you're wondering, of less pager. Yeah, I call this a win. Why is here even, this is even funny that there is configure disable UU code, it's hilarious. Yeah, I call this a tremendous win-win. So what else do we have there? Welcome everyone. People asking. People have beginner questions. My always recommendation is, I mean, there is not like getting started with one thing, right? Just get your whatever you want to work on, Linux kernel, BSD kernel, Firefox, LibreOffice, whatever, window manager. Get it built from source, learn the programming language, and then make some small changes. This is always and always work on what you want to work. Like there is no point of, if you don't want to do kernel development, it's no point of getting started with kernel lines. But that's probably somewhat was it right. Okay, LVM still building. Fat fingered there is this here though. Ah, so hates it. Let's do that again. So obviously we SVN up that. I immediately SVN up the test bill because it barely started, so to test all of this for syntax errors, for over deletion of some important space somewhere between all the random white space noise. And last but not least, let's do that again for, I mean, theoretically we could do that for conf, but that probably has excessive breakage. I think this is not the best idea. But what I would want to do is space any space before comma to comma. Oh, that's also wrong. Desk, let's see how many. I mean, it's a surprisingly amount of, you see, just some, nobody ever, I mean, who wants, actually it's not that many, it's just a handful. And the same for punctuation, only we need to escape that because dot matches anything. Ah, darn, this is not what I wanted. We need to be a little bit careful here, so we would okay, we could actually match that to, you could use that and match beginning like T and I tags. I wanted T and I. Why does this, did I not reverse it? What? Oh, so this was a typo. Okay, some dot dot dot, which are not really what I wanted. Let's say even anything. This ellipsis I don't want to substitute. Because it is surprisingly, you see, you can't easily do that for everything. Okay, so for all of this stuff is not worthy. Actually surprising how many ellipses we have somewhere. Okay, this is surprisingly, except, yeah, this is surprisingly garbage. Funny that people have that way more often with comma than a dot. I wonder if we can improve that by matching a space. I mean, we could match a not dot before a dot, but the simpler thing, let's see what we get with a dot and space like that. Hey, we got at least one. That is better than nothing. And let's substitute the comma. And that probably should be good to go. How many are this? Oh, this is not too many. Let's double check. And then we call this live stream probably soon a day. Okay, EG4, this is a little bit funny there, to be honest. This EG7, I'm not sure was it. Template. I would normally not abbreviate it like that either. How do Americans usually are? Some examples of, okay, that could be dots there and there. I think that looks way better. Oh, there's another AG. I would say that I should not real example given comma. Would you usually put a comma for? This looks a little bit silly, even if for me this is a little bit much. Dot and comma. If this triggers, you leave in the comments below. Again, some small cleanups, because why not? There is also this theoretically wants a space there. I mean, not that Glade 3 would be of any importance nowadays. Oops. I mean, we could check if we have more to without space, so if we wanted to go totally nuts with. Apparently not though. So yeah, we are still test building, so the point of this video was this Pi and FPIC. So we actually, unfortunately, maybe we make a short pause, like leaving this live stream open, which yesterday only happened accidentally, by the way. Sometimes I click a button and it doesn't have a function, and I didn't notice immediately. Let's pause the live stream, leaving it open for you to rejoin in 5 minutes to see if after the initial bootstrap is done here. By the way, why does this not Epic Threadripper more? Probably some configuring stuff. Anyway, to have some update then, if we have some breakage or not of this global changes. I hope you enjoyed this already and learned something. As usual, if you tune out already, don't forget to share, subscribe, GitHub sponsor, Patreon, OnlyFans, membership, whatever you like the most or stuff, or leave some super chat or super thanks. That's it for now. Have a good day or night, and I hope to see you soon for the next fun stuff to come.